Welcome everyone back to Cooking with TJ. Today I'll be showing you how to make deep fried batter and how to deep fry an egg. So first thing we'll need, cornstarch. So cornstarch, we'll want a half a cup of this. Okay. Got half a cup here. So fill this up. Once you have half a cup of cornstarch, place it into mixing bowl number 1. Alright, very nice. Now we go over to our white flour here. Take half a cup of this also. Now remember the knife trick from when we made cookies. Make sure you have half a cup. Perfect. Okay, half a cup of flour goes into the mixing bowl number 1. Alright, next we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Got our teaspoons here. Let's find 1 teaspoon, here it is. Okay. Baking powder, it's 1 teaspoon. Now we need a half, so we go the next size down. There we go, half teaspoon. So we got 1.5 teaspoons baking powder into the dry mixture. Now we need salt. So we take 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Here we have a 1/4 teaspoon. We do 3 of these. Okay. 1/4 teaspoon. Half a teaspoon. 3/4 teaspoon. Alright, next we call what's called a dash of sugar. I mean, just boom, that's all the sugar we need. Just a dash. Quick little bit of sugar. Okay, so that's our dry mixture. Next, if you're feeling slightly adventurous, you can add some pepper into the mixture to add a little extra flavor. Okay, so now that's our dry mixture. Now we come over to our wets. We take 1/3 cup of water, put that in bowl number 2. Now we take half a cup milk. Let's get this as even as possible. Alright, half a cup of milk. Now we pour that into mixing bowl number 1. Delicious. Now we've created skim milk. Now what we want to do, we want to get something to mix the mixture. Take a fork, and first we want to sort of mix this around a little bit, even it out. Alright, now we want to add slowly, a little bit at a time, our wet mixture. Okay, so I'm going to mix that. Now all we're trying to do here is combine all the ingredients together until it all becomes one unit. Okay, so we add some more. Just want to do this a little bit at a time so you can evenly the mixture. Let's get those sides in there. Okay, let's add some more. Okay, well, really make sure we combine the wet and dry mixture best we can. Delicious. If you want, you could even take a little bit of a taste of this right now. Okay. So now we add the rest. Alright, we're getting a good bit of a batter here now. Alright, and now that you have your mixture mixed nicely, we take this over to our cooking station. Follow me. Alright, here we have, we've taken our oil. We've also taken shortening, which you can use if you don't have enough oil to completely cover what you'll be deep frying. So what we'll do is we'll start that up on a medium heat. We're supposed to get this to a bit of a boil, or 350 degrees, whichever comes first. So while we're waiting for this, when it gets closer to the temperature we want it to be, what we'll do is we'll get what will be deep frying prepared. So we'll be deep frying an egg and maybe a couple other surprises. Alright, I've been told that for the batter, which is a wet batter, to properly stick to whatever you'll be deep frying, which in our case is a hard-boiled egg, you want to cover the food item with flour to ensure that the wet batter properly sticks to the food and doesn't just slide off when you put it into the hot oil. Okay, so over to our oil. The shortening we have in there, which will take the place of some of the oil we're missing. It's starting to melt right now, but not near enough temperature for us to introduce our food. So we'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Today, our sponsor is Taco Bell. Taco Bell was founded 58 years ago by Glenn Bell in Downey, California. And since we've been sponsored, I thought I would take this time to thank him. Thank you, Glenn. And now, back to the video.
Alright, so our temperature is nearing 300. We need to wait for it to get to 350 before we can add the eggs. But now is a perfect time for us to start preparing our eggs for deep frying. So what you want to do, take your egg, roll it in flour. You want to make sure it gets a nice coating of flour on it so that the wet batter really sticks to it, because we wet, they'll just slide. Okay, that's nice. Alright, and now introduce it to the wet batter. So what I want to do is just roll it in this batter. Make sure it gets all around our egg here. It's going to be a little mushy and gross, but that's normal. Now what we can do is just drop it straight in. Alright. Perfect. Alright. Now in our case, the oil isn't really enough to cover the egg completely, but the easy way to solve that is just roll the egg around so that all the sides get nicely cooked, and pretty soon we'll have our egg ready. And you can really smell it too. It smells just like a carnival. If you go to a carnival and they have, deep fried elephant ears or onion rings, it smells just like that batter right now. Delicious. Alright, I think this is ready to come out. So we take it out. Alright, so once you have your egg nicely cooked, bring it over to a plate with a paper towel on it, just because it may have a little bit of oil right now and we want to dry it off a little bit. So we can put our spatula out and paper towel around. Lightly dab it to get a bit of that oil off. Now we can bring the taste test. Alright, we got our knife here. Let's cut into it. Alright, first off, we can tell that the egg is cooked pretty nicely. The yolk just comes right out. We don't have any of that gray area around it, which means that it's overcooked. So this is a very nicely cooked egg. So let's take a bite. It's gonna be hot. Right away. You can tell right away with that crisp from the batter. Just like they have at carnivals. Very fattening. Very, very unhealthy. But since you're eating an egg, it's okay. Let's go back in for the rest of it. Wow. This is not even me acting. This is genuinely delicious. No joke. Hold on, camera guy. Go on. Dig in. Yep, just take that whole thing. Pop it in. Right away you can get that batter taste. You know? Well, I think it could use a little bit of salt, just because the egg is a little dry.
The egg is a little
I could have used more
bit.
pepper.
But
If you're watching this at home, I would suggest putting a little more spice into it, just because this is my first time with this recipe.
some crushed red pepper.
Crushed
into
red
the batter
pepper. Yes.
would, it'd make the spiciness just that much higher.
Especially with an egg. I do like a little bit of spice with my eggs, but a little more salt. I would suggest more salt on the egg after you cook it. Just open up and put salt in it. So, rating. From a regular hard-boiled egg to like onion rings, what's the level? 1 to 5.
I say 3.5. That was pretty good.
I would say right smack dab in the middle from hard-boiled egg to...
Definitely better than his cookies. Link in the description down below.
Yes, thank you for that. I think 3.5 is more than fair. I think I might even give it a 3 just because my bite, I must have had a little bit of cold yolk. That wasn't too bad because the batter was still nice and hot.
It was a little bit cold in the middle. It might have been
It was
able to
only
go
the
a
very
little bit-
middle.
Yeah, it might have been able to go a little bit longer.
Very middle, but I'm impressed, to be honest. I'm very impressed.
Much better than I thought it was going to be.
So, what do you say? Let's cook something else. Alright, next what I've taken is just a regular uncooked hot dog. And you do the same exact thing that you do with the egg without spilling flour. So you take your hot dog, you put it here into the wet mixture. It's goopy and nasty. But just think in a couple minutes, it's going to be probably the best hot dog you're going to have in a long time. Okay? So yeah, get it all on your fingers and gross and blah. Okay? And into the oil. Yeah. Alright, then we come over to our other hot dog and do the same thing. Yeah, just make sure you really coat it. You want a nice even coating on it. Best you can. It's a bit like glue right now. So you could easily do some paper mache, deep fry a balloon. Oh yeah. Alright, so we have our hot dogs in the oil. They've been here for just a few seconds now. But the oil level is just enough that it completely submerges. The hot dogs are completely submerged in the oil. So we're getting a bit of a more even cooking around the hot dog here. Let's check our temperature once again. Just over 350, so we can bump that a little bit just to get the cooking process going a little faster. But yeah, right away, starting to get a nice, good crust, and we want to make sure that the hot dog inside is cooked as well. We don't want to be biting into cold hot dog. I know some people might, but in this household we don't anyway. Alright, so it looks like our deep fried hot dogs have gotten to the color and texture that we want, so we can turn this heat down again, just so we're not boiling that oil away. Bring it over to our plate with paper towel, and we dab it. Just get a lot of that oil off so we aren't burning our tongues with hot oil. Let's bring it back to the table for another taste test. Welcome back. We have our deep fried hot dogs here. We're going to try them plain and then with some mustard. So we got half a bun here. Let's go sniff test. Yeah. Smells like a deep fried hot dog, to be honest. Okay, so let's get right in here. First of all, this is very hot. Wow. Hot dog is cooked through perfectly. Very hot. And the batter is just so amazing. There's not a whole lot of words you can use except for positive adjectives. But very fattening, meaty, just like with the egg, except it's a hot dog. Alright, now let's get some mustard on it and go for another bite. Mustard's running out a little bit there. Alright, going for bite number 2. So hot. Batter. It gets so crusty. The texture is so pleasing with the soft hot dog and the hard, crusty, fatty batter. It just makes it. If you close your eyes, and you can almost hear the fair music playing and the people throwing up in trash cans. Yep, I can hear them right now. Alright, so here I have my cameraman yet again. I'm going to take a bite of the deep fried hot dog. Alright.
Here goes.
Here it goes. First thoughts right when you bite into it.
Immediately you get the hot dog taste, but then
you get the batter.
you start getting the batter.
Oh yeah.
It's comparable to the pig in a blanket with the bread on the outside, but it's as if the hot dog was deep fried.
Yep, it's a homemade pig in a blanket. I agree.
So again, let's get some mustard on it.
I'm going for the second bite with mustard now.
Running out
With
a little
maybe
bit.
some mustard. This bottle's on its last legs here. Yeah, this should be good.
Good enough. Alright.
Alright, bite number 2.
Second bite.
What about, let's talk texture first.
I'd say texture is like almost like a hot dog with onions on it.
But sort of all around type thing.
Yeah.
Has the batter stayed crispy throughout it, or is it crispy only on the outside and then like a mushy batter on the inside?
It's like fried chicken batter where, if you peel it off, it's got like that white on the inside.
Okay.
It's exactly like that. And you only really get the crispy, but the mustard makes it better.
Oh yeah.
Gives
Gotta
it
have
that extra flavor level. And you might even think about putting some mustard in the batter.
That would be an idea for a future video, perhaps.
You wouldn't want to do that with anything else besides a hot dog because it tastes gross. But the hot dog works really well. So let's finish this off.
All right, so same as the egg. One being just a regular cooked hot dog, and 5 being, you know, like the best grilled or like the best deep fried thing you've ever had. Where would it place? 1 to 5.
I have to say a 4 because I think that was, you know, better than the hot dog. I mean, than the egg. The egg was good, but the hot dog just transcends it by a whole level.
I agree. This recipe is probably the best for hot dogs or meats instead of just poultry products such as eggs and maybe just chicken. So I think I'll give it the same rating, 4. It was pretty darn good. Definitely not the best fried thing I'll ever have or have had, but it is good.
Pretty good for homemade.
All right. So if you guys are watching at home, you guys can do this. It's very simple. This is my first time ever doing this recipe and it turned out great. One thing I'd like to add that was not shown on camera was the amount of milk and water that you use will be it'll be a bit excessive. It'll be very soupy, so you might want to pour out some of that mixture without getting any of the other the drier stuff out, but you'll definitely want to pour out some of that milk and water once you get them all mixed together. So once again, thank you for watching, and most importantly, stay hungry.